I have a question for Jaden. Jaden, you've taken more of like a movement approach, right? Like of the three of us, you've been the healthiest of the three, in my opinion, objectively. I'd say the majority of the content that you put out for clients, just in general, is more movement based. Like I see you more in split stances. I see you more rotational than tighten a box. I guess why? What moved you to that? When did you start doing that? And how does that fit into the weight room? Is my question.
In high school, it's a lot of get your numbers up, no matter how you do it, no matter how it looks. At the end of the day, it's just trying to move weight, and we kind of focused our programs around like bench press, squat, power clean, and then accessory
Yeah.
stuff was a lot of hypertrophy focused stuff that was building muscle, still kind of supplementing those three main lifts in the goal of strength, right? I also dealt with some like patellar tendonitis, you could say, in my right knee, and then some tricep tendonitis in my right elbow, which obviously if you're power cleaning, doing tricep stuff, throwing a baseball, shooting a basketball, like that's a lot of load on a joint and you're asking a lot of it. And over time, if you're not giving it time to recover, it's bound to break down. And so going through high school was pretty successful in the weight room, got pretty strong at those lifts. Did it
Beast.
necessarily
I
transfer on
think
the
it could be.
field? I mean, to an extent, I think it did transfer to on the field stuff. I never really got injured, but I don't think that was because of the stuff that I did in the weight room. I think it was the warm up stuff, it was the recovery stuff that I took upon myself to kind of do in excess. Like I'd be doing warm ups
Bruh,
that lasted
you
an hour. Like
you
I
lived
was,
on the foam roller. Also, this dude could literally walk down the street on a foam roller. He could go all the way to Sioux Falls on a foam roller. He used a foam roller as a car. No,
I mean,
but for real,
was it
but
overkill? Yes, it was absolutely
not
overkill.
in my
And
opinion. Not in
but
my opinion. Not in my
but
opinion.
from where I'm coming from, like I'm seeing you, right? Like
Yeah.
you're obviously the best teacher of what just primarily the weight room and strength training has the chance of doing, right? Our injury risk does go up when our muscles are able to produce more force, and when we use that more force in a position that maybe isn't designed for our body, like something's bound to break. Like doing this over and over again, yeah, we can say there's acute stuff, but some of this injury stuff is definitely chronic movement issues, and the weight room as it is, not being taught how to properly move, not being taught how to properly progress and recover. And I think it obviously turns into a chronic issue, right? I obviously, like I said, warmed up probably too long, recovered, probably spent too long. Like, obviously, I wasn't well versed enough in like the science and the protocols. Like, I was static stretching way too long. I was doing a bunch of things way too long, way too much, but I was doing that to try to prevent any injuries from occurring. So, in hindsight, yeah, I wasn't the most efficient with my time, but I definitely took care of my body better than
Okay.
most that
I have a
lived in the weight
question
room. Yeah.
from like a mental health perspective in your recovery process. What was it like for you to like actually spend as much time as you did recovering? You know what I mean? Like I say it sarcastically, but I actually say it out of respect. Like
Yeah.
you did what I couldn't do. Like I chose to spend my energy elsewhere and obviously paid the price for it. But I want to know, like, because I'm curious from your like inside and your memory, like what it was like for you to sacrifice your time taking care of your body the way that you did.
Yeah, I think it stems from me being a perfectionist. I think I had this idea in my head of what movement should look like, and there definitely were times where I was not mobile enough to move in the way that I wish I could. So Tim didn't bless us with the most mobile joints, the most mobile hips, so we are stiffer than some. But yeah, honestly, it was trying to perfect those movements that we work so hard to build numbers in, while also trying to make sure that the body feels good. And yeah, it does. It took a toll. I mean, when you warm up for an hour and people are going through 3/4 of their workout before you even touch a weight, like they're saying stuff, they're shooting small jabs. Like, when are you going to start? Like, you're still warming up. Like, yeah, I'm still warming up. I'm trying to stay healthy, bro. Like, you're going to say this for the third time this week. Okay. Like, I'm still going to do the same thing.
And
But
you
yeah,
also proceeded to throw around way more weight than anyone else did. So
in his warm-up sets.
But I mean, they were probably gone before I even got to my heavy sets. So like
Yeah, man.
whatever. But so yeah, that I mean, those small jabs, I mean, they are what they are. People love to say stuff, but the stuff at night, I think I kind of got a little bit obsessive of my recovery. I think I definitely, there were times where I didn't spend time with like friends and stuff because I felt like I needed to take time for my body and take time for myself. And obviously I look back and I think that I definitely could have been a better friend, a better person throughout high school, and not been so, I would call it selfish for my recovery and my health. But it was something that was really important to me at the time. And so I would have a certain routine and I'd stick to it, and it'd be really hard for me to like just drop the ball on a night when maybe the friends are getting together. And yeah, I look back and I definitely have some regrets with saying no, probably too much, but
I have regrets of saying yes too much. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean,
and
it's hard.
I paid a price on one end, and you're saying a price on the other end, and I'm sure there's a balance somewhere. And I guess that's why we're doing this, right?